Alright, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to talk about one of the coolest superheroes that's ever been made in comic book history from the 90s. And that character is Spawn. And before we begin, let's talk about how Spawn was created. Spawn was created by one of the Spider-Man artists named Todd McFarlane and published by Image Comics in 1992. Yep, you heard me right. Todd McFarlane used to be one of the Spider-Man artists, and he did some for DC too, but he left both Marvel and DC to create his own superhero known as, well, Spawn, and work with Image Comics to compete with both Marvel and DC. Spawn was so popular back in the 90s, he got his own movie, which it didn't do that good, and a TV show that is actually better than the movie. And Keith David is probably the best role for Spawn. He fits perfectly. He even came back to voice Spawn for both Mortal Kombat 11 and Call of Duty. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about the first issue of Spawn. The story begins of a voice of a man saying that where he is, he doesn't belong there. Not here and not now. He made a deal with someone so he can come back, but it turns out it was rigged because that someone really made him believe what he said was true. If you Spawn fans know who I'm talking about, then you know. Now he's saying that he wants to die again. That's right, this man has died before, and that man who is speaking to us is Spawn. Not gonna lie, I kind of find this opening so cool because it explains about like how Spawn died and on how he came back to life and became this. So let's talk about on how Spawn died and how he came back to life. Spawn used to be a man and soldier named Al Simmons, and he had a beautiful wife that he loved so much, and a man he hates so much, but we'll get to that later on. But for Al Simmons, he was something special, and he's proud of it. Until he was betrayed and killed with a huge explosion. And it's all because of this man right here, Jason Wynn. This was the man who's responsible for Al Simmons' death. What a dick. And after all that happened, Al Simmons made a deal with the devil himself. He made that deal so he can see his lovely wife again. But instead, he became the Hell Spawn that we know him as. So in the next page, we meet a detective and his partner. They're talking about a situation that somebody threw a man named Carlo Giamatti out the window from the 44th floor. Holy shit. So in the next few pages, Spawn went to some kind of warehouse, I think, and he saw a woman being abused by a couple of guys. So Spawn jumped over there and took care of all of them. Until then, Spawn is starting to have some PTSD. And once again, he thinks about his wife. And also, he remembers his funeral. Now, this part is definitely like one of my favorite parts, because she was afraid of him at first, but then when Spawn had like a breakdown, she decided to comfort him. That was very nice of her to do that. After that, Spawn was talking about his wife again. But here's the thing. He knows that that woman he thinks about is his wife, but he can't remember her. So Spawn decided to take off this quote-unquote costume off, but after what he sees, yeah, you just can't help but feel bad for him. And then a story ends with a sinister and devilish laugh, and that laugh is the devil himself, Malebolgia. Wow, what a story to begin with this series. Todd McFarlane did a really good job with this first comic book character that isn't from Marvel or DC. And seeing this art style is pretty cool, not gonna lie. And I did heard that Blumhouse is also directing a Spawn movie that should be arriving soon, but it looks like it's in development hell. No pun intended. So that's it for this video, and next time I will be talking about Hellboy pretty soon. Oh yeah, and before I go, here are some Spawn reading recommendations. Hope you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Oh my God, he's